Well, if you're sitting at home wondering, how strong is this tropical storm at this point? Wonder no longer here. Atlantic City, New Jersey, those are angry seas out there right now. Look at the swells coming in because of all the winds just kind of blowing all that water on shore. We do have some storm surge into the Atlantic City area, probably to the tune of 1 to 3, 2 to 4 feet, depending on high tides, but that is massive surf coming in out across the coastline of New Jersey. So we, of course, have all this to thank for Tropical Storm Isaias, which continues to cause major headaches and problems and damaging winds and damaging weather up and down the East Coast here. So really from, we're looking at pretty much Jersey northward. Tropical alerts are still in effect along with damaging winds. Tornadoes, they've been a big problem today too. We've seen numerous tornado touchdowns right along the path of the storm to the north and the east of the storm center. And then of course flooding too, not only from the storm surge, but from inches of rain that continues to come down from Isaias. There's also a cold front that's also in play, and that's going to help to actually steer the tropical system, not necessarily helping it, but just sort of determining on where it goes, and we'll show you all that coming up now. This is, of course, your Eastern Regional Forecast time. I'm going to take you through the Northeast, and of course, the big name there is going to be Isaias, and then Carissa Kloss is here in about 3 minutes. She'll take you down through the southeastern portion of the regional. So tropical storm warnings are still up really all the way through the coastline here, Long Island, New York, in through Boston, all the way up through towns like Bar Harbor through later on tonight. So tropical storm warnings are up, and also tropical storm watches are up to the north of that. Bangor, Millinocket, Presque Isle, Caribou, Maine. It's kind of odd to have tropical storm watches up for that part of the country, but because that's where Isaias is going, that's what we have. That's what we're dealing with here. Severe weather threats anywhere from Philly, New York, Boston through Bangor. We're looking at the straight line winds from the gusty winds from the storm over 60, but we're also looking at tornado spin-ups too, as of course all the winds come off the ocean onto shore. You get those things spinning on up, and again we've seen numerous tornadoes on the ground, funnel clouds, and just lots of tornado warnings. This will continue the rest of today and tonight. Now the watches are up for flooding too. We have some ongoing flooding and flooding that's probably going to happen as we go through the evening. 2 to 4, maybe 6+ inches of rain still to come anywhere from DC northward all the way up out across Lake Champlain and to towns like Burlington, Mount Pelier, eastward through Concord, New Hampshire. Everybody's going to get huge amounts of rain out of this storm. So where is it headed? Well, mid to late afternoon, it's tracking right above New York City, Westchester County, and then continues to go right up the Hudson River Valley. Pretty much almost taking the New York State Thruway, pretty much due north, and everything along the path of that storm and to the east is going to get lashed with a lot of rain and a lot of wind coming on in. Also going to watch the southern shores of Long Island and also Connecticut as we start getting storm surge from those southerly winds just pushing all of that water on shore. So here's the forecast once we get past midnight tonight. It actually looks pretty good for the day on Wednesday. High temperatures for today, 78 degrees in Philly, 81 degrees out across New York, middle 80s in Boston, 76 in Burlington. Obviously, those numbers are not exactly August-like because all the clouds and the showers, they keep those temperatures down. And as I mentioned here, Wednesday is going to look a whole lot better. Still some cloudy weather, occasionally a sprinkle or a shower, but by and large, a much different day tomorrow compared with today, as Isaias will be tracking way to the north out across Canada. Thursday at this point is also looking really good. All right, down the south we go. We did have landfall made by this storm out across Oak Island, North Carolina. That was very close to the storm center right there. And as we go forward in time, those folks unfortunately going to continue to clean things up there, Carissa.
Yeah, and you can see they were hard at work last night. These guys who live on the coast, they are very resilient. I just spoke with Brenda Dare, our field correspondent, who was there alongside Brandon Clement to watch as the damage took place. And this morning they said they've already got a lot of it cleaned up because they knew going in, they prepared, and now they just have to start that cleanup and recovery effort. There was a lot of tornadic damage last night in North Carolina, including at least one fatality and multiple injuries up into Virginia. And remember, like Matt said, we just want to stress that that tornado threat continues today. We saw that landfall take place with winds at 85 miles per hour just after 11 o'clock Eastern time last night near Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina. That's just outside of Wilmington. Feels familiar, doesn't it? That's because we've seen several tropical systems impact this area over the last several years. In Myrtle Beach, about 4.2 inches of rain, storm surge, coming in along with that. So of course you have the damaging winds. You have that wind pushing that wall of water on shore, and that gives us some serious issues, especially when you compound it with all of the rain, several inches of rain that have come through this as well. Wrightsville Beach, John Van Pelt was there as that 86 mile per hour wind gust came through. In Wilmington, 74 mile per hour wind gusts. We also saw multiple tornado reports everywhere from South and North Carolina, and now continuing to track to the north. Those have been damaging. So keep an eye on the bottom of your screen all day. Have our app with you wherever you go, because those warnings are going to keep popping up throughout parts of the mid-Atlantic and into the northeast. We also have a cold front that's going to follow this system, and that's going to pop up some scattered showers and thunderstorms. We're also keeping an eye on the pretty consistent rainfall that's expected for Florida. Florida managed to get out of the worst of Isaias, but we still saw that entire Florida coastline raked by some rainfall as well as those gusty winds. You'll see another round of storms today, and that cold front sliding east overnight tonight with just a few clouds and some of that onshore flow returning as we get into the day on Wednesday. Generally, your temperatures are going to have that warm and muggy feel. 95 in Columbus, 96 in Jacksonville. Storms may keep things a degree or two cooler into parts of central Florida, but overall it should be a pretty coastal kind of afternoon. We've got some cooler 80s expected into parts of the mid-south, but generally things shouldn't be too bad. If you're joining us from West Palm Beach, you saw the impacts from Isaias just a couple of days ago. We've got strong storms in mid to upper 80s expected on and off here into the next couple of days. We'll continue our team coverage of Tropical Storm Isaias as it works its way up the eastern coastline. Stay with us here on Weather Nation.
Simba, you must remember who you are.
No, I don't want to. Stupid idiot father.
The one true king.
Damn, I forgot about you, stupid. My mom never
Disney's
loved
The Lion
you.
King. Growing here,
Catfish is all new,
We are back.
and you've never seen it like this.
Did you think this whole quarantine was gonna stop us?
Because these all virtual episodes
We're gonna make an entire episode of Catfish remote.
are wilder than ever.
Exes always have a vendetta. There's always something to air.
Whoa! He says he'll join. Oh my god.
Wait!
Like seriously, because even Catfish work from home.
Catfish. All new episodes start tomorrow at 8 on MTV.
Kapow! A mobile plan that blows away all of those high-price plans. Introducing Boost Mobile's all-new Shrink-It plan. The longer you stay, the less you pay. Start at just $45 per month. After 3 on-time payments, your bill shrinks to $40 per month. Then bam! After 3 more on-time payments, your bill drops to just $35 per month and stays there. The best part? Your bill shrinks, but your data amount doesn't. Plus, get a free LG K51 when you switch. All on our new upgraded network. Save with our new Shrink-It plan. Boost Mobile.
Verizon knows how to build unlimited points. Start with America's most rewarded network.